Why, hello. Fancy meeting you here.
Lovely as always.
It's not like I just set up a camera on a tripod in order to pretend to be surprised to see you. Never. I would never do anything like that.
Sure, Jan.
Or maybe I would. Maybe that's exactly what I did. Anyway, in case you're new here, hi-oh, my name is Io, the Popcorn Philosopher. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, fellow alien and fellow philosopher. It's me.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised to see me too. So surprised, in fact, that I completely forgot to film an intro for part 2 of Kate Bush's Lionheart from 1978 and day 12 of the Kate Bush Deep Dive. It's a new album for a new year. Well, new for me at least. And look, I've got legs. Oh wait, you still can't see them, huh? Maybe I don't have legs. If you can't see it, you can't prove it. You can't prove I've got legs. Wow, that changed pretty fast. I bet when you clicked this video, you didn't expect to be...
It's a bit nutty.
Well, yes. But I am what I am. And that's all that I am. Because I'm fun to the finish because I eat me spinach. Yeah, maybe we better just get back to where we left off. Part 1, in case you didn't see it, that's probably the best place to start. I'll have a link down below in the description box along with a link to the rest of the Kate Bush journey. So let's stop talking and let's start listening. Yeah, let's do it. Getting back into the album, we're going to listen to Full House is the first song. Oh, interesting chord progression right off the bat. Really complex chord structure.
Squashing the leaves away. Suddenly there in the road is your old self trying to get out of the rain.
Real jazz influence here. Interesting piano melodies.
With that old me, trying to get back again. Imagination sets in, then all the voices begin, telling you things that aren't happening.
Like those feathery background vocals.
Remember yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of a sassy vocal here. Got some more proggy guitars. Wow, really interesting. Fascinating piano melody.
Surely by now I should know I can control my high and my lows by questioning all that I do, examining every move, trying to get back to the rudiment.
I like how her vocals mirroring that guitar. There was a lot going on. I didn't even actually really know where to stop in the middle of the song. There just was a lot going on vocally, a lot going on that keeps your attention. Also, it was very difficult to hear what she was saying lyrically, which I've kind of been noticing in this album. The lyrics are a little bit harder to decipher than the first album, at least. But this is definitely more of a grower song. So I might need to hear this song more to really, really enjoy it. It's easily one of the most complex musically in terms of chord structure and melodic movement. But since I had such a hard time hearing the lyrics, let's take a look at them. This is another song that feels very personal. It's kind of the artist's plight, kind of oscillating between confidence in what you do and crippling self-doubt. But I guess a lot of people feel that way, not just artists. Full House referring to those voices in your head that tell you bad things about yourself. And funnily enough, I actually just wrote a song about this called I'm Something, You're Nothing, which taken out of context sounds terrible. But I wrote it about thinking of those voices as disembodied voices that aren't real and are jealous of the fact that you are the one who gets to live your life. It's a great way to combat those voices. But if you look at these lines in the beginning, driving back in her car, watching the wipers, squashing the leaves away, suddenly there in the road is your old self trying to get out of the rain. She's warning of any growth that you make in this direction. It's so easy for these voices to secretly hitch a ride to get back into your house, bringing you down again. Also, maybe it's because I just watched the movie Death Becomes Her for the millionth time, but those same lines also remind me of that movie. And for those of you who have seen it will know that it's pretty apt. Next, we're going to listen to In the Warm Room. So let's see what that has to offer.
In the warm room, her perfume reaches you. Eventually you'll fall for her. Down you'll go to where the mellow wallows. In the warm room, she'll touch you with your mama's hand.
This is a very introverted vibe.
Long to kiss those red lips, but when you do, it'll feel like kicking a habit. She'll tell you that she'll stay. Ooh, so you better barricade the way out. She'll tell you she's true.
I like that.
She'll tell you she loves you. She's waiting in that warm room.
This is very inviting.
In the warm room, she prepares to go to bed. She'll let you watch her undress, go places where your fingers long to linger. In the warm room, you fall into her like a pillow. Her thighs are soft as marshmallows. Say hello to the soft musk of the hollow.
This is a very soft, well, I guess warm vibe. She's definitely getting what she's talking about in the warm room. It feels very inviting. This in a way feels like a Scorpio. Since I'm born on Halloween, I am a Scorpio. This is a very Scorpio vibe in that it's almost like she's bringing you into the secrets of the deep. That's what I'm getting from this song. I'd still like to look at the lyrics to figure out a little bit more what she's saying, But that's what I'm feeling from listening to it. It's very soothing though.
She'll tell you that she'll stay. Ooh, so you better barricade the way out. She'll tell you she's true.
I love that part.
She'll tell you she loves you. She's waiting in that warm room. In the warm room. She's waiting in that warm room.
So plaintive. Okay, well, one meltdown later, my card was full, and then I thought my camera was broken. And so I had a little mini meltdown. Because I didn't tell you this, but my iPad is broken too, so I have to get that fixed. So I thought I was gonna have to get my camera fixed too. Anyway, back on track, back to the album. Why do I think this is about hot yoga? Waiting in the warm room. Although most of the time that's hot. It's a hot room. Waiting in the hot room. But no, there's definitely a sensuality to this song. Very warm and inviting. Well, warm. Because the song is called In a Warm Room. But it's very fitting because it definitely has that kind of feeling to it. It's soothing. In fact, it's perfect for what I need right now after having my mini meltdown. Just that's all I have to say about it. It's very beautiful. I haven't really looked at the lyrics yet, but I feel like any partner would be touched and feel really amazing about having someone say this to you. You know, I'm waiting in a warm room with her red lips, and I don't know, it's just very, very inviting. That's all I can say about it. But let's look at the lyrics because maybe I'm completely off about it. It wouldn't be the first time. Even though I couldn't hear all the lyrics, I think I was pretty right on. I think the title has a double meaning of this beautiful woman waiting in a warm room for you, her paramour. But I think it's pretty obvious it also referred to her nether regions, her nethers.
Good heavens.
But my first thought was that something sinister was going on because I feel like a woman like this is always described in a sinister way, like a femme fatale, which is really messed up, actually. Why is a seductive woman always thought of that way? I mean, I thought she was maybe hinting at it by saying kissing her feels like kicking a habit and you better barricade the way out. But the feel of the song makes me think that this isn't the case, and why should it be? But do you think this line right here is referring to something Oedipal?
But I found these panties.
Try one. They're edible.
Okay, the next song on the album is Kashka from Baghdad. I know there was a demo for this one. I almost did this song as a reaction, the demo version, but I actually have not heard it. So here's Kashka from Baghdad. Nice light acoustic. Going up and down the fretboard, giving for texture. That's kind of cool. Ooh, interesting notes.
From Baghdad, lives in sin, they say, with another man, but no one knows who. Old friends never call out, some wonder if life's inside it all, if there's life inside it all.
So there's very intimate sounding song.
We know the lady who runs the room. She catches thing a la luna at night.
Ooh, some male vocals. I hear some more more instrumentation coming in. I don't know, Kate Bush really knows how to add an extra element, you know, to keep things fresh and exciting. So adding those male vocals, and it sounds like there's some tremolo kind of piz strings coming up for some drama. Yeah, Kate Bush really knows how to keep it interesting. Down that fretboard again.
Maybe it's because the moon's not bright enough. There's light in love, you see.
Nice harmony.
I watch their shadows, tall and slim, in the window opposite. I long to be with them, 'cause when all the alley cats come out, I can hear music from Kashka's house.
Oh, I like that line.
At night,
I can hear music from Kashka's house. Interesting harmonic sonics. I mean harmony sonics. This is a little more adventurous texturally. It's almost like chanting here. Some notes on the outside of the P. Let me in your what? The drums sound really warm, 70s style. I like the piano here too. Yeah, a lot of these songs sound like they're sung in a smoky cabaret. These songs on the end of the album. This album is definitely a lot more ballad heavy, a lot more easy listening to an extent than the first album. I wonder if that's what she intended. You could tell with this song Kate was experimenting texturally, but was maybe limited to the technology of the day. But it was kind of a sneak peek into what was to come. Kind of reminds me of where Radiohead was when they made Creep, how they had that cool sound right before the chorus. They were limited by their own knowledge, but it was also a glimpse into things to come. But this one especially, I really want to hear what she's talking about, Kashka from Baghdad. Really curious. Reading these lyrics, I was pretty sure that this was about a gay couple, but the name Kashka confused me since it's usually a woman's name. And when she says that Kashka lives with another man, I thought maybe Kashka was a married lady living with another man. But I got a comment on part 1 confirming that I was right, that this is about a very happy gay couple. I'm guessing living in a time long ago when their love was a little more forbidden. I'm really curious though, who is Kate as a narrator of this song? I mean, who is the watcher? Do you know? Let me know in the comments if you do. It's interesting, the last few songs have had sort of a meandering quality, but then have these really focused, catchy, melodic moments. In a Warm Room had, she'll tell you she's true. While Kashka in Baghdad has the line, when all the alley cats come out, I can hear music from Kashka's house. Next song on Lionheart is Coffee Homeground. So I'm wondering if that's a pun or what.
I had my man jokes and my purse puns.
Yeah, Carrie. Your purse puns and poo 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 poo.
Let me at him! Let me at him!
interesting. Very theatrical. Like cabaret almost.
You slip some on the side into my glass of wine, and I don't want any coffee hit the home ground.
Also kind of sounds like sideshow
Give me a
music.
chocolate. No thanks, just for my diet, know your game. Tell me just how cold the smell of bitter amor. So no to your coffee hit the home ground.
Interesting. Very interesting instrumentation. Like a carnival too. Wow, this is interesting. It's a very interesting instrumentation, but I'm not crazy about the mixing in this. It's a little muddy. It seems a little all over the place from a mixing standpoint. But really interesting instrumentation otherwise. It kind of reminds me, I wonder if like the Dresden Dolls ever heard this and this is what they were inspired by, because it kind of reminds me of, I guess Dresden Dolls would have copied this album. I heard the Dresden Dolls songs first, so it reminds me of that. But the drums don't seem to hit very hard. Yeah, it's kind of weird from a mix standpoint, but interesting.
As a plumbers who went a missing here on Monday, there was a tall man with his companion.
I'm having a hard time hearing the lyrics
and
too.
I bet you gave him coffee homegrown.
Yeah, I heard coffee homegrown.
And only more a little company. Keep your recipes, was it right to read? Rest in peace with coffee homegrown.
I like the electric piano. Oh, come through, bass. Nice bass work here. But way far back in the mix. Penny whistle? We're hearing penny whistle. This is so crazy. Wunderbar. A classic fade out. Well, this is one of the few songs that I don't think benefits from a fade out. I think probably a good like crash cymbal would probably be a good way to end this song. I don't have much else to say. I'm just real curious how coffee fits into all of this. And also, I never thought I would be listening to a penny whistle on a Kate Bush album, but here we are. Let's look at the lyrics. So I have second thoughts about the mix on Coffee Homeground. I think it's meant to have sort of a live theatrical feel, so it would make sense why it was mixed this way. And even the fade out could be thought of as maybe someone leaving the venue. But before reading the lyrics, I wasn't sure what she was meaning by coffee home ground. But after I did, I think it's about like a play of two friends. And I say friends in quotation marks because one believes the other is trying to poison him or her. It's not made clear. With Kate mentioning different poisons, which makes the line, "No, no to your coffee home ground." That's so funny. Although I have to say, if you're that suspicious of your friend, maybe coffee unhome ground should be off the menu as well. But it seems like this poisoner really just wants a friend forever, shall we say. It's giving very Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay, so the last track on the album is the song I've been looking the most forward to. It was the first single for the album, apparently, and I actually had never heard it because I don't think it was on the Greatest Hits album that I had. But it is called Hammer Horror, and I am a huge fan of Hammer Horror. In fact, there is a Hammer Horror movie on this very channel. A couple years ago, during Halloween, I did an homage to Elvira. And I hosted a Hammer Horror film. Actually, two. The Anniversary and The Nanny. The Anniversary and The Nanny were two movies that I hosted, but The Anniversary got a copyright strike. So that's no longer on my channel, but you can actually still see The Nanny. Not that nanny. We use that joke that's a recycled joke.
Hey!
What? Those are charity laughs.
But I've actually heard 30 seconds of it because I didn't realize that this was a song. I saw it on YouTube and I was like, oh, Kate Bush likes Hammer Horror. So I clicked on it. I didn't realize it was a video for Hammer Horror. And so I heard the first 30 seconds of this. Otherwise, I never heard the rest of it. So let's listen to it. Drama. Nice octave piano.
You stood in the bathtub and now you're gone. So who knows all the sights of Notre Dame? They've got the stars for the galley got the stars.
Interesting snare here. Is that electronic snare?
All I want to do is forget you, friend. Hammer horror, won't live anymore. The first time in my life I keep the lights on to ease my soul.
This sounds a little different from what I heard before. I heard the first 30 seconds, I heard it up into this chorus, and I feel like, is there a different mix of this? Is the video mix of this different? Because this sounds a little almost muddy, so I'm kind of missing some of the chorus, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm gonna have to take a listen to the video version.
It's the right thing to do.
I like the bass on this too.
We have seen in your face
Kind of a walking bass line.
and we tracing all the scenes of your big hit. So God you need and little God you need. Was it me who made you so low?
I like these background vocals too. Very catchy chorus. Won't leave it alone.
First time in my life I keep the lights on to ease my soul. I have a horror, won't leave it alone. I don't know, is this the right thing to do?
recorder.
Calls me from the other side of the street.
I like this vocal melody here too.
Chaps me on the shoulder. I turn around, but you're gone. I've got a wish that you follow me to get you going back on me. All I want to do is forget you. I have a horror. I have a horror. Won't leave it alone. Don't know. Is this the right thing to do?
Ooh, notes on the outside, very unsettling. Cool little effect going on too, that's kind of panning. Not sure. They pitch bend that, I think. Sounds like. Yeah, very unsettling. Ooh, I like that. I love that ending. Yeah, the mix sounds very different than what I heard in the video. I'm real curious. I'm gonna have to look that up. But other than that, I'm so curious about what the story is behind the song. I almost want to do another special video about this song because I'm really like, what made her write a song about Hammer horror, you know? I was a real big fan of Hammer horror just because I went through a whole phase when I was a kid of like old horror films, B films, science fiction films from like the 50s and 60s, as well as horror films from the 60s. I'm not as much into it now, but back then I really was. So I really am curious what possesses me to want to write a song about this. It's such a quirky thing to write a song about. Kind of, I guess, pretty famous, but also semi-obscure horror movie studio. You know, that just seems such an interesting thing to write a song about. But it is definitely the most catchy song besides Wow. So I can see why it was a single. More than any other song on this record, I'm so curious about the lyrics. So you know the drill. Let's look into them. I don't want to watch too much of this video because I wanted to react to it, but I did want to check out the mix, and it's pretty much the same. The mix is still very muddy to me. For one thing, I didn't even realize that these were synth strings. At least I didn't see a cello or a string credit. And if they are, they're actually really great and convincing for 70s era. But they are adding some competing frequencies in the low end between the bass, the strings, and the synths. It's kind of taking over the mix. And you can tell that because if you really listen, you can't really even hear the snares. And I really like this song, so this would be a great contender for like a remixing / remastering. Do you guys know if this ever happened? Let me know in the comments if you do. Thematically though, the fact that Hammer horror follows Coffee Homeground makes a lot of sense. Although really, I think for the flow of the album that Hammer horror would have been a great opening track to switch places with Symphony in Blue. And I wonder if this one small tweak would change people's opinion about this album, because I really like this album. I think it's so underrated. I did learn from a commenter that this song is not about Hammer horror films, so I was really off when it came to my interpretation. So I did re-record this because it didn't make sense for me to put something out that I knew was wrong. So I did look this one up because I was curious why she did name it Hammer horror. But she doesn't really say, other than it isn't about Hammer horror films. She says it's about an actor whose friend has died. They are both actors, and his friend who died was the lead in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And the living friend is given the part when the friend dies, and the dead friend spends the rest of the song haunting him for taking his part, which is really a fun metaphor for guilt. So my best guess is that she's using Hammer horror films as an adjective to describe the atmosphere, kind of this terrifying gothic setting. Well, another end to another great Kate Bush album. I'm kind of sad because it's the end. I mean, I know we have so much more to go, but this really did cheer me up. It was amazing. So much better than I thought. Definitely not as good as the first album, but it's almost like an extension of the first album in a lot of ways. It almost feels like an EP. Yep, what I had a meltdown over, it actually happened. My camera fell and broke. The last 2 months have been a real debacle, I swear. Anyway, let's discuss favorite tracks on the album. My 3 favorite tracks are In Search of Peter Pan and the 2 singles Wow and Hammer Horror. But I also really like Symphony in Blue and Full House, which both really grew on me, and they're so advanced musically. I really don't understand why this album is so underrated. Well, I guess I do because it's got a lot of growers, and in a way, they're closer to the piano demos, but I really like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that helps the channel out so much. And I'm trying to make this my full-time gig, so that really, really helps a whole lot. Helps the channel, if you feel so inclined. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, that your life is a wonderful, beautiful musical, and I hope that I get to see you next time. Popcorn Philosopher, over and out.